Good afternoon, all. Again, my name is Deputy Chief Myron Daniels. I'm Chief of Staff. Thank you for coming out this afternoon. The building that has sparked some questions, I will provide some historical information regarding it. That building is a building owned actually by a city parish. For approximately 20 years, the narcotics processing facility has been used by various detectives within the narcotics division. Very familiar with this facility, that I can honestly say thousands of suspects have been processed in over the years. I was shocked to hear the name Grave Cave. That was the first time I've ever heard of such a name, and surprisingly, that was also the first time that most of the staff and officers throughout the police department that we checked with had ever heard of. I have since come to learn that it is a term used by some of the officers within this unit to refer to the facility. The processing facility is used by several investigative sections within the Baton Rouge Police Department. This includes street crimes, HIDA, other task forces, and divisions. It is the policy of the Baton Rouge Police Department that no narcotics, guns, seizures, money, arrestees, nor confidential informants are brought to the daily offices of these covert units. The processing facility allows space for detectives to process evidence and arrestees, and is also equipped with a holding area to secure them. There is also an attached bay that allows for large storage for seizures. Now, I would like to assure this community there is nothing secretive about this narcotics processing facility. As of date, I'll say the first half of this year, one unit within our organization has processed right about 350 individuals themselves. And last year, there was approximately 650 people processed at this unit. Now, in association to this facility, the association of this facility came about with a recent case. It all stemmed behind an investigation into arrest of 5 suspects relative to guns as well as narcotics. It began when our street crimes detective actually apprehended arrestees that fled a home in the Zion City area. Those suspects, when arrested, were discovered to be in possession of marijuana, fentanyl, and firearms. The BRPD Special Response Team was later utilized and did execute a search warrant at this residence. That search warrant actually yielded marijuana, heroin, crack cocaine, methamphetamine, hydrocodone, U.S. currency, and 6 guns. That case has recently led to allegations of use of force. That allegation is currently being investigated by our Internal Affairs Division in accordance with our established policy. Just some notes and a timeline as far as some of the things that have occurred. We recently received a complaint involving one of the officers associated with that case. That complaint came in as early as August 11th. It was followed up by the supervisor who actually took the complaint on August the 13th. That supervisor wrote a letter to Internal Affairs to have that case investigated. On August 14th, there was a letter of request put in to have that officer transferred from the unit. From the administrative side, involved in that case, the officer involved was placed on administrative leave on the 14th. On August 24th, the chief actually signed a pre-termination hearing notice for that officer. And on today's date, that officer actually submitted a letter of resignation, which the chief did sign. That is the background of our narcotics processing facility, as well as the personnel questions that have recently arose. Based on that, I will take a few questions and we'll move on. So, questions? Ma'am?
So this was the first time you ever heard of rape case?
Yes, ma'am. It's the first time any of the staff had heard of it. It was only through conversation with those that supervised that unit did we find out that there were a limited amount of officers who actually used that terminology to describe the facility.
There was a lawsuit recently about Jeremy Lee, who was the suspect in all this, and in the lawsuit it said that it was called a torture warehouse. Do you have any comment on that?
Well, for obvious reasons, we are not allowed to comment on pending litigation, so we will not be able to comment on that.